I was off duty by that point, but the bodies never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene. Very laudable, Mr. Beat. Preserving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance. That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her... forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean exactly by the right to police force? And thanks to your swift response, the case is quickly resolved. The actions of two moral citizens. Oh please, you're making us blush, isn't he, darling? Yes, sir. What Patricia said, sir. Let's move on, shall we? Oh wait, I just saved as well. Dumbass. But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by light of the gas street lamps, would you? We absolutely could. Us Londoners have exceptional eyesight, I'll have you know. Right. The light from the street lamps was more than enough. And my husband already told you that the fog was only light, didn't he? Yes. And what of the fog? We're famous for it across the globe, I believe. But it's an absolute menace to those of us who have to live with it, of course. Oh, it is. But it's fake. You can't even see a hand at the end of your arm. Yes, alright, I take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about? The constant fog makes eyes very sharp, you see. That's why we can tell you for sure and certain that it was that little Japanese man you saw. Remember me, darling? Yes, it was the accuser, no mistake. The moustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the tall mouth, the snub nose. Sir, as far as this couple's testimony is concerned, if I have any question, was the Seki-san they saw running away from the scene of the crime. So that's it, isn't it? What? No. Oh no, it's really not that at all. My husband's a policeman, remember? And I know what I saw. I remember every last detail, everything. Like... I know, what about the books the man dropped? I could tell you names of every single one, I could. Every single one. That will do, Miss Beat. I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please put your husband's fists down. Perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Miss Beat? Might that appease you? Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. Don't I had the right voice for Gina there. I could even tell you the name of the 4 books he dropped at the scene. Okay, now that new information's come to light.
Hold it!
Yes, we know that there were books dropped at the scene of the crime, as you see. Those purchased by the accused in a nearby second-hand bookshop under the inquest. After being to the police box for help, I decided to have good luck over the area for good measure. And what was your husband doing at the time? Oh, he was lying face down in the snow, getting some well-deserved rest. He works ever so hard, you know. Ever so hard, don't you, my darling? Interesting way of guarding the scene of the crime. Well, Miss Bede, seeing as you have regaled the court with tales of your powers of recollection, would you be so kind as to recount the titles of the books you observed at the scene? A picture of Monsieur Lecoq, Emile for Gaboro, Canterbury Yearnings. I'd be happy to. How are you listening? There was the picture of Monsieur somebody or other. And what's he units? And there was a meal for someone, and last one was definitely the thingy something. You see? Yes, I see one or two holes in your memory. Oh, well, they were along those lines, I'm quite sure. There were indeed books found at the scene of titles along those lines, as you put it. Anyone who upsets my Patricia will have me to answer to. Terrifying. Yes, she really is.
Objection!
3 books. So, you're saying that there were 4 books? That's right, I remember all of them. The picture, yeah. I'm sorry, Miss Bede. But there is a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours. Oh no, what flaw? Simply, that at the scene of the crime, there were only 3 books, not 4. What? This is a receipt from the bookshop where the defendant bought his books. Your books? Yes, and it details Mr. Natsume's purchases that day. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed. Only 3? No, that can't be. I remember seeing them. There are 4 books, I tell you. 4 dirty-old books. Oh, really? Have a good look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. As you can clearly see from this evidence as well, there are only 3 books. But I just don't believe it. I saw them there, I swear it. I saw them. No, madam, I'm afraid your powers of observation cannot be relied upon. So it cannot be denied. That though you say was the defendant you saw. You could very well be mistaken. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
Objection!
It's plainly evident that it is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Japanese friend. Mate, are you on drugs? It's because of those powers of observation. The reason I got out of being jailed myself. What? What cannot be denied is that these 2 witnesses saw the accused fleeing from the scene. A fact that you know very well you have no hope of disputing. Ah! Well, yeah. That's the common. They expect someone to find a body after a knife fell on it and not be intimidated?
Objection!
But what about the photographic? Quite right. You hate me seen in that print. That print? You mean to say? Allow me to present another. One that shows the victim's hand. I don't believe it. It's the fourth book. As you will observe, the fourth book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso. No! No! Order! Order! There, you see? Look at that. Look. Yes. Let us study the receipts for books purchased by the accused in the main question. Miss Bede, the titles once again, if you please. Oh yes, of course, the picture of Monsieur somebody or other. The picture of Monsieur Lecoq. What's it, yearnings? Canterbury yearnings. A meal for someone? A meal for Gaborio, in fact. As the court has just heard, the witness remembers the book titles flawlessly, save for a few minor details. Miss Bede's powers of recollection can be described as exceptional. But there are only 3 books on the receipt, and Miss Bede mentioned 4. There's nothing surprising about that. Clearly, the 4th book is that which is shown in the photographic print. I'm sorry, Counsel, but does that not seem odd? Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt? It's not odd at all, my lord. As the photograph clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim. The victim was holding her own book? I wonder, what became of that 4th book? Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers at Scotland Yard. I have it here as evidence. You'll submit that and the aforementioned photographic print to the court, please, Counsel. My pleasure, my lord. The 2nd crime scene photograph has been entered into the court record. The 4th book has been entered into the court record. The prosecution rests. Oh, look at this. The book has been badly burnt. Oh wait, no. Yeah, I'll just read normal in the analysis. You'd never be able to read in this state, especially not the later pages. What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edges of the paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently. Book. Recently damaged by fire. Why does that seem to be a red flag with me? Raise red flag. Perfect English. What? You seem surprised, my learned friend, but your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spurious longer route to the accused's lodgings that you tried to establish in your summation examination, and the attempted discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your first examination. Futile. Called I in this one, didn't I? So, perhaps ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions. Should the court waste any more time on this Nipponese travesty? Or is the decision you have to make all too apparent already? You have heard all the witnesses and seen all the evidence. This trial has run its course. Miss Naruhodo, I'm afraid we're in a terribly precarious position. I know, but if I back in the wrong way now, it could very well just make matters worse. Think, Ryunosuke, think. What do you do now? Here's an objection.
Objection!
I'm not done yet. No, my learned friend. And so, that last cross-examination was your final chance to establish credible defense, and you failed. The die has been cast. There is no more room for debate. Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but... I can't think of what to say. If I may, Lord Hanseats, it seems somewhat boorish to close on the debate at this point. Your insignificant little Eastern Isle must be a lawless home indeed. For a lowly judicial assistant had the audacity to intervene at a moment like this. I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you will have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable. Miss Naruhodo. One of this land's greatest guiding principles is tolerance, so the court will hear you, madam. Go ahead, Mr. Sato, please. Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? What have you all overlooked in this matter that you see fit to pursue further? Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished. I see. And you believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you? Miss Naruhodo, what do you think? It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. Because it says... the book with the birth on the back. The judge is sure to ask members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. And of course, he's sure to ask you to explain what the crucial piece. This is it. Susato-san has managed to win us one last chance here. I can't let it go to waste. The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord. Very well. The defense may present one further piece of evidence. No idea why I didn't send back, because...
Take that!
The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. In the fourth book, found in the victim's hand... We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further will be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know. Yes, I'm afraid, counsel, I must concur with the prosecution on this matter. That's what it sounds like to me.
Got it!
I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question. The back? What do you... Good gracious! It's been burnt to a crisp! So we have to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching what was clearly an unreadable book? It is undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Objection!
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend? Why would you... like I said, burnt book, you wouldn't be able to read it, bitch. So, should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some veiled clue as to what happened with me? Yes. Pray, do me right and soul. What truth does this charred book hide? The charred book. There's just one possibility here, which I can't quite bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance certainly, but worth it. Alright, I'll explain my theory. Don't keep us waiting any longer then, Council. Explain this theory of yours. Yes, owner. My lord, the pen on the back of this book reveals a startling truth about the book's owner. I beg your pardon? But we didn't know who the book belongs to. The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand has yet to be answered. However, as to the questions of who the book really belongs to, and where it originated, the defense has very credible answers. Good gracious, how can you possibly... Very well, I'll play along in this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. Do remember, the members of the jury may well burn you if your little gamble goes awry. Counsel, the defense's response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of this trial. The answer is that the book belongs to the couple who own the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Miss Garridev. The landlords? And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for jury duty in this courtroom today is none other than Miss Garridev herself. Oh my god, me? I think you must be mistaken, sir. Things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. Alright then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garrideb's house? Oh, I would never presume to know on books. This is outlandish behavior. The woman is the accused landlady, you say? You implicate this hard-working member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable. This is not mere conjecture, and the defense happens to know. Now, on the day in question, almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Miss Garrideb's house. Good lord, what sort of incident, Counsel? A fire, my lord. Fair to say it was, happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. Worst of it is, I lost my favourite book called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride. By Jove, the very same title as the subject of this debate. How dare me!
Objection!
This is risible. All you've told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in the fire. In which case, it would be reasonable to assume that it was burnt to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself at the scene of crime. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was marital discord. Without going into details, it appears that Miss Garrideb was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garrideb even amid the flames. Oh, how awful. I can't even imagine being so horrid to one you love. Can you, Lily? Absolutely not, sir. My Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir. The man had his back up against the window, and he had burning books thrown at him. Goodness gracious, are you suggesting?
Objection!
No, a thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident. There was no report of the Garrideb's window pane being broken. That's quite true. We also saw no sign of broken glass when we visited the Garrideb household. But is it not conceivable that the window was open at the time? Not even remotely. Let us not forget the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it. No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter. Have you ever heard of this thing called a catch? People use that so they can put the windows too without closing them entirely. So of course window latches, unless this is before they became a common thing rather. Does the defense postulate this scenario in all seriousness, counsel? Do you earnestly claim that the book found at the scene was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garrideb's wife? I believe it's a possibility, my lord. Yes, window latch. Thrown out the window. Wait. It's... and just... Well, I hope that everyone can see what you are now, you little foreign trickster. You call yourself... Really? No, I assure you, that was not my intention. Here we go. I don't know if you noticed, but Juror number 4 was getting awfully defensive now. Makes you wonder if that was foreshadowing that he had gone in as a prosecutor. No, wait. The mystery of the 4th book still hasn't been... If books are your predilection, my learned friend, study them in your own time. Like I said, window latch. Windows don't just have to be like this. I mean, hell, it's winter. And what's that supposed to mean?
Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Franziques, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Guilty.
My lord, the defense asks to exercise its right to a summation examination. Do you believe you still have tricks up your sleeve? I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to uncover the truth. There's no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined. I have considered the defense counsel's request for further summation examination of the jury, and I have determined that the court must uphold the defense's judicial right to this procedure. So, counsel, you will now proceed with your second summation examination. I presume the jury is ready, Mr. Foreman? Well, my lord. Very good. In that case, I must ask each of you now to state clearly and concisely for the court judicial findings. I don't believe that's relevant for anything. Clearly, the key to the summation examination is going to be juror number 4, the maid. Or should I say, Miss Garrideb? You have a book that disappeared from the Garrideb's house on the evening of the incident, and the fourth book found in the victim's hand. There must be a way to link the two. Yes, that's what we have to find. Using every technique I've learned in my short career so far, whatever it takes. So, you might be willing to change your decision, you mean? That's great. Another election. As I see, an overwhelmingly suspicious Japanese man has been implicated by overwhelmingly strong testimony. So despite one or two minor problems, but us modern gals, right? Yeah. But what about the possibility that the window was open? What about it? I mean, there's just no way it could have been. How can you be so sure? The prosecutor fellow over there said it earlier, didn't he? It isn't London, no joke. You don't want to invite that sort of code indoors. So no, that window wasn't open. Us Londoners like sitting by the fire and doesn't stay warm, see? But you couldn't categorically state that the window wasn't open, could you? It just wasn't. They wouldn't have opened it. And what's the point of even having windows? Counsel, you will kindly refrain from childish bickering. Oh, sorry. Somehow I need to show there's an undeniable possibility that the window was open. But this young man isn't going to budge either otherwise.
Hold it!
As we now know, there were 4 books, not 3. Well, what difference does it make? There's every possibility that the 4th book, in fact, belongs to the defendant's landlord. Yes, that's the part I have a problem. Sorry? Well, had established this landlord fellow was at home, wasn't he? Well, anyway, the point is, no fellow and his wife were somewhere else when it happened. I think that's what you call a strong alibi. So it couldn't have been the landlord who did it. Which only leaves the Nipponese fellow. Honestly, I can't see what this palaver's about. It's a done deal, isn't it? Suppose it is, since there's nothing witty left to say.
Hold it!
But the little book was on fire at the time, was it not? There's really no such thing as a loving incendiary bomb. Well, he brought it upon himself as playing with fire to betray fiery love, isn't it? Well, don't you agree? Oh, well, any kind of betrayal is certainly a bad thing, yes. But I think the argument might have arisen out of your misunderstanding, Miss Garrido. Right, well, we'll see about that. What about journal number 5? It doesn't seem to be turning how Miss Garrideb's learned dishonest thoughts. Someone says there is used to it. What a gentle soul he is.
Hold it!
Does that have anything to do with your decision about the defendant's culpability in this case? Sorry, what's that? You'll have to speak up, lad. Could you tell us more about that fire? Uh-huh.
Hold it!
You just want to get this over with? How can you sit there and say something like that? A man's future is at stake here. Well, him and me both then, like I said before. What? I told you already, I'm a day laborer, ain't I? But don't bring home some reddies with me tonight. You'll find me floating face down in the Thames tomorrow morning. What? You heard me, my missus don't want to mess about, you know. To be fair, believe you me. Another shining example of marital bliss then. He's a dev as opposed to what he wants to be. Actually, this old man's anecdote. I just provide the alternative explanation and take my points to leave a jurors.
Objection!
Don't point at me again, I told you it wasn't me! What's that you say? Speak up, lad, speak up. Juror number 3, do you see? Oh, me? See what, sir? Did you hear juror number 6's account of his birthday celebrations last year? It seems, despite being a Londoner, he once opened his windows in the middle of winter. Well, yes, of course, because it was an emergency. I mean, obviously, if the room was filled with smoke from a fire, then you'd be mad not to open the, Oh! Exactly. On the day in question, at the time of the incident, there was a fire in the Garadab household. Mr. Garadab had the following to say about it. No place filled with smoke.
Oh my! Excuse me!
Juror number 4, do you have something to say about that? Miss Garadab. Oh dear me. What is the meaning of this? How dare you imply that I'm hiding who I really am? It's imperative that you confirm something for the court. So please, it's time to draw the pretense now. When the fire started in your house that day, did you or your husband open the window? I beg your pardon? What are you insinuating? The room would have been fake with smoke after the coffin bookcase caught fire as they did. In a situation like that, it's inconceivable that you would have opened the window. And what if he did? Oh, right then. Yes, you're right. My husband was frantically trying to open the window, which can't have been easy since I continued to give him a justly deserved book battering, even though your house was on fire.
Objection!
Nope.
Objection! Objection! Objection!
Brilliant time to have rainfall.
Hold it!
At the point when the victim was attacked on Briar Road, you know there was a small house fire in the Garadev household on the opposite side of the street. Well, yes, it certainly seems that way. And on account of the smoke, I imagine they would have had the windows up wide open in spite of the cold. Only one. And I can't really see how I could have gone all the way over to the other side of the road, that's all. Ah! So I don't really see how I can change my decision, really. Oh, I see. That wasn't enough. What's it going to take to persuade these people?
Hold it!
So, you might be willing to change this. The fourth bug found at the scene of the crime shows very obvious signs of fire damage. And the title of the book is Lion's Pride. The same title, in fact, as the book that Mr. Garadev told us he'd been reading. Well, I really couldn't say. On the day in question, did you or did you not throw out your husband the copy of Lion's Pride that you'd been reading? I did. It was the first thing I could lay my hands on, so I hurled it straight at him. Now you come to mention it, yes. He was rather enjoying reading it, right? Why did you not reveal this information to court from the outset? I really don't.
Oh boy! Excuse me!
What is it, Joe number 5? You know something? I've remembered what it was, and that memory had blocked out. Ah. Was listening to what this granny was saying. Before they all flooding back. I'm Miss Garadev, or the maid, I'll have you know. The man doesn't even flinch. Please tell me that's not because he's so used to being hit all the time. No words, just terror. I'll never use the word lightly again. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this. When women lose their vag, they'll throw anything at you. Knives, hatchets, hammers, you name it. Miss Naruhodo, you mustn't think that all women are short-tempered and inside. No, I wasn't thinking. What? Attack? Who are you going to attack? Never mind. Anyway, the man's words could be rather significant, I think. Alright, we'll come back to the bow and arrow thing later, if I dare.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly have a deeply significant connection. Good grief, you mean they don't contradict each other? God. What? I was having a nice one in your bed. Well, that's just tap now, ain't it? I think that's just tap. We can have the same review. Why don't you go and hide these? Hmm? What is one? Hmm? What is this movie? What is one? What is it? Liam. Liam. What is one? Oh, he's sorted. Animal. Must have been you. Okay, here we go again. Explain, Counsel, at once! Juror number 2, do you think perhaps that this could be one such novel alternative? Oh my, whatever do you mean? An alternative explanation as how the victim was stabbed in the back. What are you talking about? We've demonstrated that the 4th book, Lion's Pride, that was found at the scene of the crime, originated in Mr. Garrideb's room on the top floor of his house. Therefore, it's equally possible that some other object besides the book could have found its way from the Garrideb household to the street below. Yeah? What's that now? After all, Miss Garrideb could have owned any number of different objects on her husband. Isn't that right, juror number 4? I'm beginning to think that ever since the true origins of this book came to light, perhaps she's had a feeling this might be what happened. Now you listen here, you Eastern Gala. As a foreman of this jury, I demand a straight answer. You give us this yarn about some other object making its way out of the house, but what? What was it? I'm really taking a big gamble here. That's a bold accusation to make, but I haven't any real evidence to back it up. But I'm certain that at the very least, this wants further investigation. Alright, Mr. Foreman, I'll try to explain the defense's theory. The other object that found its way from the Garrideb household to the scene of the crime was,
Take that!
Juror number 4, Miss Garrideb. What now? I must apologize in advance for this. But I need you to confirm something else for the court. This knife. Have you ever seen this knife before? Ah. Good Lord, Counsel, what on earth are you doing? That's the weapon that was lodged in the victim's back, man. My lord, remember that when the victim was attacked, Mr. and Miss Garrideb were in the throes of an argument. Miss Garrideb was hurling anything she could at her husband, who'd been backed up against the window. A window that had been opened to clear the smoke, through which a book sailed to land at the crime scene. You can't seriously believe that. The book was found in the victim's grasp. Are you saying that it flew out of the window and across the street landed neatly in her hand? Huh, even my missus ain't got a name like that. Yes, I admit there are many details we don't yet understand. That's the point. That's precisely why we must not allow this trial to end. Not right now. Oh my! Ah! Miss Garrideb, your answer, please. Have you seen this knife before or not? Oh, I see yes. My lord, I wish to change my decision. I'm a woman of my word, after all. Thank you, madam. Yes, I agree. I certainly didn't see this coming, but I just don't think it would be right for this trial to come to an end now. So many unanswered questions. Mr. Foreman. I'd have to agree. Not that I think the granny didn't mind. Yes, you know what? I'm not quite happy about this at the moment either. All together now, ladies and gents. We did it. Oh, congratulations, Miss Naruhodo. So, as a result of the defense information examination, a number of jurors' leanings have changed. 2 jurors called guilty against 4 now calling innocent. Accordingly, the opinion of this court is divided, and this trial will continue. Now then, Lord Von Zieks, how does the prosecution wish to proceed? This trial is rapidly descending into a farce. Like a quart wine, the first few sips are bitter enough. But what follows is so repugnant, it's good for nothing save the gutter. If I may, Lord Von Zieks, the defense has just put forward a credible alternative explanation for what happened. Credible? Is that your considered opinion, Mr. Foreman? The defense's argument is a joke to which I barely know how to respond. But let me start by insisting that you must all familiarize yourselves better with the relative positions of those places being discussed. What do you mean by that? What's his angle this time? It should be more than apparent that between the crime scene and the Garadab household, there's a rather wide street, Rye Road. Which means that the distance from the Garadab's house to the scene is some, 15 yards. Let me see, 15 yards, that's around 14 meters. 14 meters? Oh. That's no parallel imagined. And, as you ladies and gentlemen of the jury rightly noted as having potential significance, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, the smoldering book, wantonly hurled by the lady of the house, traveled some 15 yards to land on the opposite side of the road, immediately between the collapsed victims and hindering them from. Is that your final conclusion, my lord and deluded friend? Ah! And then the jackknife following the identical trajectory to plunge into the middle of the victim's back. This fantasy is somewhat stretching the notion of having a bad day for the victim, I think. Even those pathetic serialized detective stories have more believable plots. Ah! There's nothing I can say to that. No prosecutor loves the sound of his own voice. Miss Susato, serialized detective stories are pathetic, are they? Maybe let's pick up ours here. My lord, might I be allowed to speak? As judicial assistant, you may speak for the defense. Yes, go ahead. The prosecution may consider the idea of fantasy, but what the defense has postulated was believable enough to persuade the jury to change its leaning. And as such, the court has a duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible. To that end, Jury number 4, Miss Joan Garadab, must be called to testify and submit to cross-examination. Saints alive! A cross-examination of a juror? Order! 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 Well, this is highly irregular. It's unprecedented for a member of the jury to be summoned to the witness stand.
Objection!
And unnecessary. Lord Von Zieks? There are many witnesses in the stand whose testimony The defense may further cross-examine if my learned friend's farcical theory has any truth in it. The overburning buck and a jackknife must have flown through the sky before the scupper's eyes. And we must assume they'll be able to testify accordingly. Well, good morning, officer. Sorry for dozing till now, sir. I haven't slept for a month on account of the villain that's appeared on my beat, sir. Oh, they are so heroic, these London bodies. Patricia, my darling, I've been neglecting you, but no more. Oh, Rory, my hero, give me... Could you save the romance for after you leave the courtroom? Very well, I hereby reject the defense's request. Witnesses in the stand to testify again. State forthwith before the court any details pertaining to the defense's alternative explanation of events. Yes, sir. Oh wait, not the sorry, but what exactly is a top-hinged casement window? And you cannot excuse your ignorance for such trite remarks, my learned friend. Of course. Sorry. I found it, Miss Naruhodo. Cast your mind back to the windows, Mr. and Miss Gyarados. Alright, I'll try. So the window opens in order to allow air to circulate inside the house. This is the top hinge casement window. It swings open along the upper edge, you see. I'm glad you rectified your ignorance. A casement window's most prominent feature is its stay, a metal bar which prevents the window from being opened beyond a certain amount. It prevents the opening? This is new to me. How is this happening? I haven't even started the cross-examination yet, and already my argument's been destroyed. My lord. Oh good, another desperate situation. Save the romantics for later. Oh, please. So I suppose it's gone for about 15 minutes, but... But according to my notes here, the sun had gone down already and it was dark. Oh, yeah, I was strolling around gazing at the night sky and looking for a lucky star. Sorry? The star that will guide us to eternal happiness. Can I guide you to answer the question? If a flaming book had cut across the sky in front of us, would have lit up like a shooting star. And if I'd seen a shooting star, I would have made a wish upon it. Nothing to report. That's correct, sir. I had my eyes wide open the entire time. Never looked away for a second. No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. I can swear that on the odds on us, sir. Really? That seems a little strange. Beg your pardon, sir. Strange, sir? Seems altogether regular to me, sir. This written copy of Lion's Pride was originally in the Garadeb household. So the question remains, how did it find its way into the hand of the victim? Can you shed any light on that, seeing as you hadn't seen the crime the whole time? Aha! Could it be a different copy, sir? One that just happened to be burned as well? Even if that were possible, why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand? As we can see from this photographic print, she had a bag over her shoulder. Well, sir, that book was in the lady's hand from the moment we arrived at the scene. Is that so? There's something about that statement that's not seem right to me. The two mysteries of how that knife ended up in her back. And how that book ended up in her hand. There must be some common thread between them. So sorry, Miss Nara. I don't know how to speak. What do you mean? I requested the cross-examination of Miss Garadeb without consulting him. Even if the judge did deny me. Oh, I see. Well, I agree with you. We do need testimony from Miss Garadeb, if we're ever going to get to the truth in this matter. You really think so? Well, think about it. No matter how far it is across the road or how that window opens, Mr. Garadeb's book found its way to the scene of the crime somehow, didn't it?
Hold it!
How can you say that for certain? A very good question, sir. And the answer is this. As noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty. You showed us that before, didn't you? Did he? Can't say I remember. To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of common man is what the job's all about. And that's why I can stand here today beside my long-suffering wife and tell you Bobby's good for his word. While rubbing my tired eyes admittedly. Sir! No, none of this is what I meant. I meant, how can you say for certain that this case has nothing to do with Mr. and Miss Garadeb? wasn't planning on going back just yet. Well, he just arrived here. The policeman will strive to preserve the peace within his large beat. The patrolling officer is expected to walk 20 miles around his beat every day for the furtherance of community relations.
Objection! Objection! Hold it! Excuse me.
Do you have something to add, Miss Beat? Sorry. You look, well, delighted. Is there some particular reason for that? Oh, I was just remembering, that's all. You really were so lucky. Lucky? What do you mean? Well, of course I feel terrible for the poor woman who was attacked. Don't misunderstand me, please. I was just so lucky you'd been out on Rolly's beat. We're so close, you see. Oh, I hadn't realised. Oh yes, street driver. That's the boundary between Rolly's beat and the next one. Isn't that right enough? Constable Beat. Yes, that's right. That's the reason I was helping out with interviewing the occupants of the Garadeb household yesterday. The house is on my beat, you see, sir. Really was kind of close then. Constable, I wonder if you could clarify something. If the Garadeb household is on your beat, does that mean that the pavement next to it is as well? I'm sorry, Mr. Garadeb's house? Yes, ma'am. The pavement on that side of the road is part of my beat. I see. I wasn't aware of that. Just think, if the woman had been attacked just on the other side of my road, we would never have been able to go for that meal to celebrate our wedding anniversary. But that's life for Bobby, after all. Extraordinary people are Bobbies, tirelessly working for the benefit of all Londoners. Do you know what I think? I think it was the good Lord's way of rewarding my Rolly for his hard work. Don't you think so, my dear? I think perhaps we should make sure we have that information officially on record. The pavement where the victim was found lies just outside Constable Beat's beat, the border which was installed in the middle of Rye Road. ask you something, please, Mr. Lawyer, sir? Oh, yes, of course. What is it? You're doubting us, aren't you? I can tell. What? I wasn't really... I mean, what's she doing? Please, just because I'm a woman doesn't make my testimony less valuable. You might just see me as a rival policeman. I'm a woman of my word, I am. I really don't remember ever suggesting that I doubt you. No excuses. I don't want to hear it. My voice will be heard. My lord, you let me speak, won't you? Yes, Miss Bede, I will allow you to supplement your testimony if you so desire. Sometimes the path of least resistance is the sage one. That was a very loud mutter. I heard that. That Japanese man thinks a policeman's wife's word counts for nothing, does he? Now watch out, sir. Duly noted, Miss Bede. Please, I humbly ask you to continue. What could she possibly be about to say, I wonder? Miss Bede, nobody's questioning what you've told us. I saw what I did. That evening, I saw it clearly. That little Eastern man with the whiskers and the funny curved back slinking away from the scene. I don't know what I didn't see as well. Oh, very clear. You also mentioned something about having a poor sense of direction. Oh, yes, well, that's a little embarrassing, really. I'm always ending up at the wrong place when I've made arrangements to meet Rory. Guess I was so...
Excuse me!
Constable B, is there a problem? No, sir. No problem, sir. Did your wife remark just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Oh, well, in a way, sir. Yes, sir. I was just remembering that the same thing happened that evening is all. Hmm? You mean Miss B lost her way on the night of the incident? Well, you see, I sent her off to find the police box in the next beat from mine. But she was gone a fair bit longer than what I was expecting. Thought she'd be back inside 10 minutes, but my darling was gone a good 15. Oh, Lowly, you're such a tease. The reason I was so long was because of the bouquet, silly. The bouquet? Sorry, what bouquet are you talking about? Oh, it was a present for our wedding anniversary. Really so romantic. Saved up for it with farthings and halfpennies he put in the gutter when doing his rounds. Yes, how romantic. I'd forgotten all about it until just now. Had you, my darling? Oh, yes, but that was just between us. No talking about it to anyone else, darling. You have to promise. Really? Oh. What was that all about? Constable B looked very obviously troubled during that exchange. I'm afraid I can't offer any useful insight, Mr. Naruto. I'm quite sure of one thing. You have to ask Miss B about the bouquet. Miss B, this bouquet you just mentioned. I'd like you to add details about it to your testimony, please. Oh, really? Yes, I'd love to. What happened was I dropped my bouquet and ended up losing my way for a while. I'll just press it. You mean you dropped the bouquet at the scene of the crime? Yes, that's right. Oh, I was so upset. We ran over and saw it was a woman with a knife in her back. I was so shocked. I dropped the bouquet Rolly gave me. It was in a dark spot where the streetlights weren't casting any light, so I didn't notice any. And then he went to the police box and reported to the policeman whose beat it was on. Yes, and I came back to the scene together with the other constable, you see. That's when I spotted my bouquet again. But the funny thing is, when I went to pick it up, it was nowhere near the victim's body at all. In case you need reminding, Miss Bede, the victim is not deceased. I was so flustered for a moment before I heard boats calling from the other side of the road. Your husband, presumably. That's right, it saved me. I'd gone over to the wrong side of the street. Oh no, I'm going to believe the bouquet this time. I can't think I got there, I really can't. So the bouquet somehow moved from one side of the road to the opposite. The wind? How else is it going to get from point A to point B without anyone noticing? By bouquet, do you perhaps mean this soy saute rose? Oh, yes, that's it. Maybe we just call it rose. Tell us, Lord Von Zeeks, where did you come by the flower? According to a report by the police officer in charge of the crime scene investigation, it was found on the edge of the pavement in front of the Gary Depp household. In front of the Gary Depp's house? Although it wasn't noticed until the morning, as it lay where the street lamps cast no light. It was believed to be of no relevance to the case, since it was found on the opposite side of the thoroughfare. No, I think for good measure, this should be added to the court record as evidence. Oh, the anniversary bouquet has been entered into the court record. But it's a symbol of our love. I want it back after the trial. Do you hear me? I want it back. Very stylish paper the flower's wrapped in, isn't it? It's just no newspaper, Miss Navarro. Oh, I suppose it's because I'm not used to seeing English. But it's so exactly. Is something wrong? Oh, no. I was just thinking if you have just don't make sweet pay on this newspaper. Might look like some sort of fancy cake. Susato-san, you do love your cakes. I was on about that.
Objection!
No, it doesn't.
Protection!
You claim, Constable Beat, there was nothing to report in the 15 or so minutes you were gone in the scene. But that cannot be. What? What do you mean to say? In your testimony just now, Miss Beat, you explained to the court that when you arrived back at the scene of the crime with the policeman assigned to that beat, the bouquet you dropped at the victim's side was no longer anywhere nearby. The road to where the victim was attacked. But considering the size of that meager bouquet, a single solid bloom can be so described. No doubt it was blown in the wind across the street back into the gutter where it belongs. Meager? But if that were the case, why did Constable Beat not testify to the fact? No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. Constable Beat swore to that on Scotland Yard's honour. But the bouquet belonged to me. It has nothing to do with the case. That's why Rolly didn't mention it, I'm sure. No, because sadly, it's not only a bouquet we're talking about here. More than one thing in this case is mysteriously the wrong way round. What are you talking about? Think about it. Besides Miss Beat's bouquet, there's Mr. Garradeb's book. Mr. Garradeb's copy of Lion's Pride, which was thrown out the window by his wife. Would have struck the pane of the casement window and landed here on the west side of the street, and yet it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road in the victim's hand. Meanwhile, according to the testimony we've heard, Miss Beat's bouquet should have been dropped here at the scene of the crime on the east side of the street, but in fact, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road in front of Mr. and Miss Garradeb's house. There's no logical explanation for those things, unless somebody deliberately moved them. What are you trying to say? The way you're talking, it sounds like you think my Rolly's done something wrong. Getting awfully defensive there, aren't you? Oh good, Miss Garradeb's come round. You might call it nitpicking, Miss Garradeb, but deliberately meddling in the scene of a crime is a criminal offence. It's called tampering, Mr. Naruto. But the person responsible for this tampering cannot admit to it, for a very subtle but compelling reason. Tampering? You barely heard the term before. Tell us, my learned friend. You would possibly have had any cause to carry out such an elaborate deception. Yes, there is someone who tampered with the scene of crime that evening. All the evidence and the testimony points to that one particular person. Counsel, I must demand that you substantiate this conjecture. Who are you saying is responsible for tampering with the scene of the crime?
Take that!
No. There's only one person who could have done this.
Take that!
No.
Take that!
I love the fact that when you get one wrong, it's just him saying, no.
Take that!
There's Susato, of course.
Take that! Take that!
I'm gonna put on Mia, not.
Take that!
Obviously, there's only one person it could have been. Constable Rolly B, it was you. What? A policeman? A member of Scotland Yard? What nonsense! Why would Rolly do something like that? There's no one straighter than my husband. Nobody works more tirelessly for the people of London. Miss Beat, you said in your testimony that your husband asked you to go to a nearby police box to fetch the officer on duty. The 15 minutes that you're absent from the scene is the only opportunity anyone has to tamper with. You're making it up! It's all nonsense, it's all lies! What about that Japanese man with the whiskers? I bet it was him, he did it! If that was true, Constable Beat would have seen him do it. Oh. And forgive me for pointing it out, but when you dropped your bouquet, Miss Beat, was after the defendant had fled the scene? Ah, well.
Objection!
First, you make accusations about the landlord and his wife, and now you incriminate a policeman as well. But your accusations lack one very important thing. You claim the crime scene was tampered with, but there is only one reason anyone would commit such reckless crime. To hide something. That's right, he's right. But my husband and I just happened to be here. That's all. So we have anything to hide. It doesn't make sense. You've offered no motive for this alleged tampering, and until you do, the accusations are nothing but empty threats. Constable B had a very good reason for an attempt in the scene of the crime. That's the key to this entire affair. Mr. Naruto, have you managed to solve this last mystery? Counsel, you have made a very serious accusation against a London police officer. If you are mistaken, I'm sure I need not point out that your reputation as a lawyer will be irrevocably damaged. With that stark warning in mind, you will now explain to the court the motive for this alleged tampering. Yes, my lord. Constable Beat's motive for tampering with the crime scene was to hide where the victim fell to the ground. That is what this Bobby had to cover up at all costs. What? Where the victim fell? You mean where she was attacked? What are you talking about? We told you at the very start, didn't we? On the pavement of my road. We saw it happen, remember? That's right here, as if it... No. That's certainly what everyone has been led to believe. In fact, that isn't where the victim was stabbed at all. What? What? I'm beginning to wonder where this tumulus trail will end. Counsel, if that's your assertion, the court is dying to know, my Nipponese friend. Where are you proposing that the crime actually took place at Eden?
Take that!
But that's... on the opposite side of the road. I don't understand. On the evening in question, Mr. Garrett book fell directly down from the open window above, and your bouquet, Miss Beat, never moved at all. What did move was the scene of the crime itself. Good gracious!
Objection!
What is that? These witnesses both saw the moment the attack took place. That's right, I saw it with my own eyes. It was 5 o'clock in the evening and already dark. There was a typical London fog on the ground. When you saw the incident unfold and ran to the victim's aid, that was actually on the west side of Via Road. No, that's not true. It can't have been. Constable Beat then arranged for you to be absent for a while by sending you for help. And during the 15 minutes you were away, he transplanted the crime scene. He moved all the things shown in this print, the victim herself, and the 4 books. He moved everything, in fact, to the pavement on the east side of Via Road. Extraordinary! But the constable overlooked one thing. What did he overlook? The bouquet, I presume. Exactly. And that is the defense's theory about what really happened that evening. How do you respond? Constable really Beat? Well, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to nod off again, but I haven't slept properly in a month. Did I miss anything important? Oh, lovely. It isn't true, is it? What the lawyer says is all lies, isn't it? No, it is, because you're the most upstanding, righteous man I know. I had a dream. A terrible dream. All the things I did that night, everything come out, everything exposed. Only it seems it wasn't a dream at all. Good golly! Order! What on earth is the meaning of all this? Oh, Holly, why? Why would you do something like this? Leaving a corpse. It's a criminal offense, isn't it? Wishing the victim dead should be one too. Constable, explain yourself. Why would you do this? As a respected member of Scotland Yard, your duty is to protect the good people of London town. I can't say so. What? I really am ever so sorry about all this. For damaging the Yard's reputation, for everything. I have a possible explanation for why, on that particular evening, Constable Beat felt compelled during the scene of the crime. I can think of one reason. What? How can you possibly know? You foreigner presuming to understand the mind of a Scotland Yard policeman. And yet Lord Van Zeek says it's this foreigner who has uncovered the startling truth in the matter thus far. I believe it would be beneficial to the court to hear this extraordinary young lawyer's theory. Counsel for the defence, if you please. Yes, my lord. Now then, I think you had better show us some evidence. At once, my lord. England, Japan, it makes no difference where you come from. Human emotions are the same. And I think I have a fairly good idea of the feelings behind this man's actions. I realised I'm a foreigner in this land, and I have only just arrived from Japan, which is why all this information about London's so-called bobbies is completely new to me. I've learned that, no honourable, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world, for example. Keeping the peace and looking after the citizens on his beat in all kinds of ways. There's no doubt that young Bobby's charged with a great deal to do each day, certainly. But for Constable Beat, the day in question was special. Special? How? On account of this bouquet, my lord. Oh yes, it was our very first wedding anniversary. Constable B had worked so hard to be able to afford this simple gift for his wife, and was so looking forward to taking her out for a celebratory meal, when he and Miss B stumbled upon a crime along Via Road. When he saw that shadowy figure with a fog collapse on the pavement ahead of him, it must have gone through the man's mind. What was that? But sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. This is the warrant card that Constable Beat offered to lend to me earlier. Inside, among the rules for patrolling policemen, it says, when a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. Aha! Constable Beat. Is that, or is that not the reason he moved the whole scene of the crime that day? Yes. Everything you said, it's alright. So that's it. It was all to do with the boundary of your beat. Oh. Exactly. To summarize, the incident actually occurred on Constable Beat's beat. Good gracious! Constable, do you realize the gravity of what you've done? It was the first time since I became a copper that I'd ever cursed God. Stay close to me, Pat. The criminal could still be lurking somewhere. God, I just realized my voice sounds similar to the judge. As we ran over to the scene, I had every intention of doing my duty as a police officer. We've got to report this to the station as quickly as possible. But then it dawned on me. I realized where we were, where the victim was lying, and what that meant for me. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. He is probably getting reprimanded now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Constable. I just wanted that one night to take my Patricia out for dinner. Just that one night. He knew that if the incident was on your beat, the evening of celebration would be ruined. So we decided to move the entire crime scene outside your jurisdiction, just across the street for the east pavement of Via Road, which falls under neighbouring beat's care. You see, I thought... Well, I was sure the victim was dead, you see. I beg your pardon? Oh, of course he did. Otherwise, Maloney would have never left the poor woman on the freezing cold pavement. Ah, I see your meaning now. But God got me back for my sins, didn't he? That's why Mr. Rosa bought the path. Oh, no, Rory. That was all my fault. I should never have jumped in such a dark place. I'm so sorry, Rory. And can you tell us, Constable? How many bucks did you move from the one side of the road to the other in total? 4 it was. Yes, sir. Definitely, 4. We had one job by Miss Natsumi, and the 4th being the one that fell from the window upstairs in the Garadeb household, of course. But what made you place that buck in the victim's hand? And all the others were scattered haphazardly around, I mean. She bent over to pick up the buck, picked it up, right as knife landed in her back. When we first went over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand. You're sure it was this book, Lion's Pride, that the victim was holding? Oh yes, sir. No doubt about it, sir. Interesting. I thought it was an open and shut case at the time, you see. There were only 2 people at the scene, and Pat and me both saw it happen. However, which way you looked, it had to be the fellow who ran off who'd done it. I thought. I couldn't see the harm, really. I didn't think moving it all over the road would make a jolly difference. I suppose this is it for me now. I've had it. Well, he's probably going to get reprimanded, that's a guarantee, but I don't think the offence is that strong enough to... My lord. Yes, Lord Van Zieks? I believe that concludes the cross-examination of the witnesses. Constable, you may withdraw. Yes, sir. Mr. Prosecutor, sir, what will become of my Rory? What will happen to him? For now, you are free to go home. The police will contact you in due course. Please, don't punish my husband. This was all my fault. It's because I'm always moaning at him for coming back late. Leave it now, Pat. Let's go home. I'm tired. Alright then, my love. One last thing, Constable. Sir? Let this be a lesson to you. In a criminal investigation, every detail matters, however insignificant it may seem to you. Yes, sir. Carve that lesson into your mind. And never again make the mistake of tampering with the scene of crime. Ah, never again, sir? You mean to say... Leave. No, this trial is not yet over. Sir!
Objection!
No, I disagree. Now that we know the true scene of the incident, there is someone else. No person who could be responsible for knifing the victim's back. Forgive me for being presumptuous. I believe the prosecution is probably well aware of this possibility already. Lord Van Zieks, is this true? Very well. Name the person if you will, and if further investigation is warranted. The prosecution has no objection to the trial continuing. You'll name the sub person who could have perpetrated the crime.
Take that!
The defense would once again like to request a cross-examination of a new witness, my lord. Once again? My assistant made the same request earlier. In order to finally reveal the truth about this case, it's imperative that we cross-examine juror number 4, Miss Joan Garrideb. Me? Me? Oh, it is me.
Objection!
That request has been denied. But the situation is very different now. Do I know you? Miss Garrideb, answer me this. What do you want now, you little toad? At the time of the incident, you were engaged in a violent argument with your husband, Mr. John Garrideb. In the course of the argument, a minor house fire was ignited. And to clear the smoke from the room, your husband opened the window and looked out over Briar Road. Why, what of it? You threw this book at your husband when he was cornered with his back against the window. Upon striking the pane of the open top-hinged casement window, the book plummeted directly down, finding its way to what we now know to be the true scene of the incident. Yes, and as I said, what of it? During the argument, you were beside yourself with rage. As such, you threw not just books, but anything you could lay your hands on. So, let me ask you one more time, Miss Garrideb. This knife, the one removed from the victim's back, Have you really never laid eyes on it before? Ah! I don't recall it. Seriously? Am I supposed to remember everything I picked up and wrote my husband? Anyway, the man over there in is Vegalius said members of the jury needn't testify, didn't he? Conveniently, yes. No, I have no recollection of saying that at all during the matter. Oh! Make no mistake. You jurors are not special in any way. You are not immune to the judicial process. If you know something about this knife, madam, let the truth come out. But that's just a common or garden knife. It could have come from anywhere. I have several like that at home. If one went missing, how would you expect me to know? What's that? Are you joking? What are you saying, please, Miss Garadeb? Now you listen to me. I refuse to believe all this nonsense. I couldn't bear the thought that I'd injured someone. Do you hear? I couldn't bear it. Oh, the poor woman. So, yes, I want evidence. I want to see hard evidence if you're going to insist on this being my fault. You're going to have to prove to me that I threw that knife if that's what you think. Come along now, chop chop, do your worst. Well, Miss No, if I had him, everyone's like, nah, believe me, I'd have thrown it out already. And taken a stand, juror. Oh! The prosecution does not object to the defence's request to cross-examine this woman. Thank you, Lord Van Zeeks. I'm going to have to testify. Juror number 4! As I'm sure you will appreciate, having observed it with your own eyes today, witness testimony can lead to the most extraordinary truths being unearthed, truths of which the witnesses themselves may not even have been aware. Oh, dear me. So I demand your full and unadulterated testimony, Miss Garadeb. Mark my words, in this court of law today, we shall extract the truth. Do you concur, counsels? Certainly, my lord. Oh, that's what I'm hoping for, my lord. This is such a strange feeling. For the first time since arriving in this country, it actually feels real. I'm here, in the Old Bailey, and I'm a lawyer. Witness, state your name and occupation. Oh, yes, my name is Joan Garadeb, and I'm a juror, and such like. It sounds like even she is required in order to clarify matters in this case. Do you understand, madam? Yes, my lord. You will attend the court everything that took place in your household in the evening question. And I warn you, do not attempt to hide the truth. Oh, dearie me. Chin up, Joni. Nothing to worry about now. Oh, I didn't know you were here, Joan. One only you in the room that Dale thing, was it? I rather think I will testify as well, don't you? But what about you, Nita? Don't you worry about me. I hardly notice it. I'm not the sort of chap to leave a comrade to face disciplinary action alone. Oh, John. I presume you are Mr. John Garadeb? Yes, sir. Former second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment of the 4th Northumberland Fusiliers, sir. Seen my fair share of action, and now living the quiet life, as it were. The quiet life? Were you not engaged in an incendiary battle with your spouse in the main question? Ah, well, yes. Quite. I believe this may represent a first in the proud history of the British court. Calling a juror to the witness stand is unprecedented. However, the court will hear your testimony now, juror number 4, and that of your husband. You will recount clearly and concisely the events in your home at the time of the incident in question. If that boy thing in the victim's back really was one of ours, you'd have a job proving it, I think.
Objection! Objection! Hold it!
Sorry, would you care to elaborate? Nothing to say, really. Rather partial to a spot of carving, you see. Perhaps some water, fishing tackle, you know, that sort of thing. It's a passion brochure. I'd like to carve little wooden trinkets too, and there's my other work. Sorry to say, we're always losing knives about the place, and we have plenty, and we have a dozen other things. We sell them in the market sometimes, 20 for the price of 19. Yeah. Now, Joe. Ah! Here we go again with the scaldings. Why are they being so evasive? I imagine it's because I don't want to believe it. I can't bear the thought that it might have been one of their knives that injured the victim. This is entirely understandable, of course, but still. Go on with your testimony, witnesses.
Hold it!
So you have no intention of admitting it was your knife, unless you can produce proof? Even though there is no other credible possibility if Mr. Natsumi is innocent? You forget, my Nepalese friend, that it has yet to be established that the accused is not responsible for the attack. As if I can forget. I mean, there's some way to know who would handle the knife. I suppose wizardry like that is just a dream. Even though it is it. Even though the room was on fire? As far as I was concerned at the time, it was more important to extinguish my anger and the flames when a woman's rage was felt. There's no standing out the true of a Susato takedown just now. How did she know I was thinking that? So, please cast your mind back and try to remember. Was a knife among the items that you threw at your husband that day? In all honesty, I don't recall, but I feel I must point out that I'm no monster.
By Jupiter! Excuse me!
Do you have something to add, sir? Mr. Garidab. Don't shoot! Ah, sorry, I beg your pardon. Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind? Nothing of any significance, no. Just that the barrage of projectiles you would think launched in my direction was somewhat more solid than she implies. Bucks, bricks, and the fire poke I seem to recall. Ouch. And the woman's aim is uncanny. She landed as direct. Ah! Good grief, woman! We're not at home now. This is a court of law. Oh, dear me. Ever so sorry, dear. What's she even doing with a teapot in here? Hey! One of your descendants is going to be going up against a guy who throws coffee in his face in enough every trial. Honestly, John, I've never written such things at you, obviously. Well, take a look at this. How do you suppose that happened, Your pipe, sir? Had this thing in my hand as usual at the time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles, she did, yes. And when I went to pick the thing up, it was broken in two. I'd like to see a sponge do that sort of damage. I see, your pipe was broken. It would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Anyway, I've managed to bandage the thing up for now. You are one to exaggerate, aren't you, dear? I wonder what we should make of this account. The defense believes Mr. Garadab's remarks just now to be of great significance.
Objection!
This war veteran's words only tell us one thing. Betrayal by your wife and pipes as well as hearts may be broken. Sentimental wisdom, perhaps, but hardly worthy of adding to a formal testimony. Indeed, common sense might one. In that case, would you at least permit us to examine the pipe, sir? Well, I don't see why not. Oh, dearie me, now you go again trying to ingratiate yourself with a young lady. Very well. Very well, the court will accept the gentleman's pipe as evidence. Oh, something just twinkled inside the chamber in the pipe. Yes, I saw it. There's something stuck in there, I think. Let's turn it over and give it a shake. What's this? It's a tiny fragment of metal. It looks like the tip of a blade or something. The tip of a blade. Surely it couldn't be.
Objection! Hold it! By Jupiter! Excuse me. Objection! Objection!
Mr. Garrett, could I ask you to take a good look at this, please? You can ask, but I can't see a boy thing. You can't? You used to call me Dead-Eyed Depp back in the regiment, of course, but that was some time ago now. I'm trying to enjoy a large print book by the fire these days. I struggle to tell B from D and a P from Q, to be honest. You must be very dizzy. Didn't realise that was a pun on busy. What is that? A tiny scrap of metal? Yes, almost certainly from the tip of a blade. And what may appear at first to be just a tiny scrap is in fact a crucial piece of evidence. Interesting. And where did the defense come by this evidence? It was lodged in the chamber of Mr. Garrett's pipe. My pipe, you say? By Jove, I wonder how that got there. And what precisely does this fragment of metal signify, Counsel? I am. What? When put together with another piece of evidence in the court record, I believe this tiny fragment of metal will unravel the whole truth of this case, my lord.
Take that!
This is the knife that was found in the victim's back. If you look closely, you will see that there is a small piece at the tip of the blade that is missing. A common issue with inferior blades sold at unsavory street markets. Criminals who use them regularly leave tips lodged in their victims' bones. And what of this particular knife? No doubt its tip has suffered a similar fate, now languishing somewhere near the spine of the victim. No, that's not the case. The tip of this particular knife's blade is the very fragment of metal we discovered in the chamber of Mr. Garrett's pipe. Ah! Good grief, Lord Von Zieks! I don't believe it. Knife from the crime scene, this fragment of metal. A perfect match. Good golly gosh! Sir Von Zieks has figured it out, has he? Counsel, explain this extraordinary coincidence at once. Yes, my lord. The crucial to ask ourselves here is when did the fragment of metal find its way inside Mr. Garrett's pipe? Something that was clarified first in the most recent witness testimony. Oh, dearie me. During the argument between these two that occurred just as the victim was on the pavement below, Miss Garrett flung this knife at her husband. However, the knife missed Mr. Garrett, instead striking the pipe in his hand at the time. Which caused the tip to break off, of course. Good lord! Yes, and that is when the tiny tip of the blade found its way inside Mr. Garrett's pipe.